Well, I went to that auction, and of course I bought some things, so now we got to get the sprayer tank unloaded and get this trailer cleaned up. But we'll see how far we get that. Maybe we'll pull some things out and maybe set it on there. Maybe we'll just set it on the ground. See what we're feeling like. But I still have the old valves on that one I need to save because they add up. Get this one off. I don't know if I have room in the shop to get up to that sprayer. I might have to pull some equipment out. Oh, I hate these birds. I don't know how they get in here. All the holes have wire mesh over them. Well, if I pull the semi out, if this will start, I can drive it right out. If not, move both tractors and can come in along it. Like, look at that. Oh yeah, let's see if this thing will start. That's a lot of cold oil to try and turn over. Sure gives you some room to work when you fold the wings out. A little more strap than I probably need, but that's all I got. So I won't be surprised if those tabs catch on this a little bit. We'll have to trim one of the two. But let's see. Almost got it, but I'm too far forward and I can't side shift back enough. If I set it down in here, I think I can maybe only sling it with one and tip it into those back there. Because yeah, this, if you try and come straight down, is going to be right here. So slipping it in should work. We're touching up here. The other tank wasn't this tall. That's for an old foam marker setup, so we don't need it anyways. So I don't have tools here. But that will have to come off and that should slide right in. There's a couple ways we can go about this. I can take that off up there. Or what I can do is these front angles here, they just bolt on. I can unbolt them, drop it down, shove it back to where it clears, weld a spacer so that it's bumped up nicely, and then just drill new holes. And same with these ones up here. Butt them up against the front and drill new holes. Like, I don't need that up there, but I keep saying I'm going to turn it into like an eye wash station since it's already mounted. Or a flush tank or whatever. I'll do some thinking, we'll come back to this. Important part of the trailer's unloaded. And back out here with the sprayer. Just unbolted all that. I thought maybe that helps support that back there. Yeah, like that. No, that's the flimsiest thing ever. So we'll yank that out and see if we can scoot the tank back. Well, there, got it dropped on. In excitement, went and parked the forklift away. Holes aren't lined up. I got to slide forward, but this thing weighs a bit more than you think. So bring the forklift over again, bunt it forward, and she's bolted on. Not too bad. Actually, the holes are fairly close. I don't feel like bringing the forklift over. There, bolt dropped in every corner without any drilling. Call that a win. Come back to this another day. Well, I'm at the farm moving equipment around. So we might as well just keep going. Get some more stuff out. Fire up these two tractors and get these hoe drills out of here. I'll need the white to get in close enough because I didn't put the locks in for all the shanks so they seep down. And then I'll use the case and pull her out. Oh, before I fire those up. Dallas has his big fancy cleaner video. My old girl's not set up, so we don't get to do any. She cleans oats, though, all in one. I think it's a 1934 Hart uniseparator. I've never actually used that. Does anyone need a canola crusher? Like oil extractor? Because I got one. I just have no use for it. Now the big girl. No mouse damage, just pigeons. Hasn't been started since the fall. Those 504s are great engines. Oh, I couldn't get close enough, so it won't hurt them, just dragging them forward 10 feet. They're all just spring loaded like they're hanging, they'll come up. There we go, all picked up. Ready to head outside. As you can see by the state of the cab, the old man used it last. But every time he would unplug that, just because, oh, it's going to drain the battery. I left it in all winter, fired right up. Barely make it out of the shop. We're having pretty good luck. Should we try one more? I think it had a weak battery in it. Actually, I got a brand new battery at home. I could change it now. Well, yeah, one bad battery in it. I'll go home, get the new battery, get the battery tester so we can see which one is bad. And we'll get her going. Okay, unhooked one. I'm hoping it's top battery. It's easier to get to. Yeah, not terrible. Top battery. Okay, good enough. Well, I lied. You pretty well have to take the bottom out to get the top one out. Yeah, you have to get all the wires pushed through for it to get this top one out. Let's try her now. Nice. It's not even smoky now that I have those injectors set right. Amazing what that'll do. Someone asked me how far away I am from getting in the field. I told them 2 weeks. Everyone around here, fields are just mud. But then I got thinking, there's 50 acres of pasture right here. I was going to work and I sprayed it out in the fall. Probably work that. It's going to take multiple passes, so you might as well work it once early, let it break down, work it again later. And I think stretching tractor's legs is the best way to see what kind of shape they're in. So we got her fueled and greased up. I blew that hydraulic pump out of it and filled the engine full of hydraulic oil last year right at the end of using it, so it has fresh oil in it. We have 2 low tires and I've greased the front. I got to grease the back, grease the packer bar quick, and away we go. Or tomorrow I'll go. I don't know. I'm winging it. I haven't even drove to the bottom of the field. Maybe it's muddier than I think down there. Yeah, 2 of those tires are low, so it's going to be more than that tank can hold, so fire up the compressor. Well, why not? Let's go see what it's like down there. I know I'm not doing much of a maintenance program, and if you have the time and money to do it, give her. Rebuild the whole tractor. You won't run into too many problems, but what if I had another 50 acres to work last fall? Was I going to rebuild the tractor just to do that? No, I was going to carry on to the next field, so it'll be fine. Well, we're really doing it. Definitely pulling hard. Probably a little aggressive. It's going to take multiple passes no matter what, so probably lighten up a little bit. This bottom corner down here is an old oil well that's been reclaimed. And holy, does it pull hard through here. Ground's just packed. Well, things are going okay. I ain't running long hours the first day. Probably 15 acres down there. The odd time it's feeling a little low on power, but I don't know if I'm just hitting hard ground, but I'm going to throw a set of fuel filters at it. This thing does go through a fair bit of them. Everything else is going pretty good. It's working up like a pasture does, you know, a little rough. But anywhere where I've turned around and went over it twice kind of spot worked out, it's working up pretty good. It'll be a 3-pass thing. Like right here is 2 passes. Actually, maybe 3, but not bad. Out there a little rougher. Yeah, that's what 1 pass looks like. Oh well, takes time. It's just a beautiful, cold, windy, overcast day out here. But I need to do work still, but I don't want to. So I'm trying to find a bunch of inside jobs. Throw the slip tank back in the welding truck, and then find the inside stuff. Like, I gotta do front brakes on my truck. Good day to do that. I could go finish disking that little bit of pasture. That'd be a nice easy. thing out of the wind. Man, it's so tough. I better check the welder oil before I shove this against there. She's good, so back to work. I'm not going to be running oil injection on the Arctic pavement sled. Got to use that 2-stroke oil somewhere. Can't throw it out. Well, that was a waste of time. Everything's looking good. Must have been a rock stuck in there for a week. I guess we'll grease it and throw the wheels back on. Well, good day to test that bin if it's going to stay up in there. Getting 63 kilometer-hour gusts, phone saying, which isn't crazy for down south, but that's pretty good for up here, this country. I'm gonna do these fuel filters before I go disc. You want some advice on fuel filters? I think this would be common knowledge, but I see people do it all the time. Gotta do them? Warm the damn tractor up. It's so much easier to restart a diesel. Get it warm, shut it off, do the filters. It's going to start so much nicer, and even if it stumbles a little bit because there's a little air in there, it's probably going to keep running. No cracking injectors, no fuss. Just warm it up first. A little grumpy. I guess it's only +4 out there. There we go. Those filters were definitely plugged off. So that's one pass with this disc. And that's 2. Unsure if I'm just going to do a third right off the bat or just wait. But the tractor's definitely running better. A little more power. Running a little cooler. Should have done those before, but oh well. Get that on another round. The damn pin likes to bounce out once a year. Oh, I'm not mad that this happened. I'm annoyed that it happened on the farthest corner of the field. Oh well, let's go get the picker, or it's gonna be a picker truck, the welding truck. You just always gotta have trouble on that last pass. Damn Packer bar. At least I built it with quick connects. So we'll see if this can pick her up. And when I get her hooked up, maybe I'll build a keeper for this thing. Oh, did that break? This might get bigger. Oh, it's 2:45. Let's see how long this stuff takes me. Well, that's handy. I'm gonna flop that hitch around and lower it some while I'm here. Yeah, that was gonna be a problem soon. Well, cleaned it up some. I don't have any grinder blades, just zip disc, so whatever. There we go. We got that side together, give it some Loctite. And I'll get this way in there. I didn't put those nuts on because I might want to change that position. The brake built in almost wants to let it back down. It just seeps like an inch and then half inch and stops. But let's get this backed up closer. Not bad for the first try. Wait, inch forward. There, we're pinned together. But we're going to improve things too. Okay. With that studded added there, if we torch a little hole, it ain't coming out again. I have limited steel on the truck, so I can't really make it much prettier. Whatever. Well, there we go. Everything's tightened up. I cut a spacer for in there too. So it's just floating above it. Yeah, 3:33, so 45 minutes. We still got to clean up though. There, back in the wind up here. Jeez. But an hour and we're running again. it unhooked, I just kept going, and you can really see, like, this is with no packer bar behind, and this is with the packer bar, how much it really helps. If I had it my way, every cultivator, every disc, everything would have packer bars behind. Air seeder gets pretty long in the air seeder, but too bad, make do. So I started a third pass, and that's 2 passes. That's 3. Going 45 from it. I don't know. Looks decent. Coming from pasture, so it's going to be a little rougher. Probably getting too picky. Well, just tinkering at the farm. Don't really know what my plan is for the day. What I should work on first. One thing I thought would be neat is I just finished working that 55 acres of pasture. I did 3 passes and a little dicking around the headlands. But I really don't know what this stagger uses for fuel. I just assume it's a pig. But I filled it right up before doing that. And I have some fuel in a 1,000-liter tote. So we could actually just see how much we use to do that job. So that might be one thing we do. I should get back on the sprayer because I'm going to need that before this case in the cedar. Yeah, that tote is right full. So we'll call it 1,000 liters. I'm betting it takes 700-800. I'm just going to end up hurting my own feelings over this. Well, that does that. I'll pick away at the sprayer a little bit. So I went and bought stainless hardware for this, which I don't really need, but you know, you do get rust stains on it. So I'd like to not have that. Changed the fuel filters in this tractor yesterday, and they went and worked that field twice. And I couldn't find my strap wrench for the filters. I went, oh, did I leave it on the fender and lose it? Well, I left it on the fender, but it rode around all day. Nice. So I get to the step of putting valves back on. What do you guys use for pipe sealant? Obviously not just plain Teflon tape. I have some chemical, that yellow chemical Teflon tape. But I was thinking that Loctite that I used for resealing 2-stroke bottom ends. It's a thread locker pipe sealant stuff. This, but I use the high heat stuff. But this probably would work just fine too. Not recommended for plastic or rubber. Okay, what do you guys got in mind? Well, we're full. Let's get this level and see where we're at. Okay, back to the tank. Got the tank bolted down. So I do have to go to town and buy some fittings. Do a quick walkthrough. This guy, and this guy are going to just be for a clear hose for sight glass, since you can now not see through it. This is our agitator tube. I'll probably switch that to a 45 and get a 45 for here and have a nice hose. That's not going to get used. That was supposed to actually be on this side in case I used that tank there. But I had to remove it, so now it really doesn't matter. Plug that, because that's where that agitator tube comes through. And I'm going to shim this up with wood, just to help take the force of any sloshes. That's how it was set up in the old tank anyways. And underneath, I got the valve. I just got to get a new 90 because I chopped it off. And that'll connect. And same on the other side to that hose, and the tank is done. But yeah, I just need a bunch of fittings. Oh, almost forgot. It's above the 400 barely, so we'll call her 600 liters. So 600 liters to go from pasture. Just get 3 times, so it's pretty well ready to seed right into. Yeah, is what it is either way. So I'm over at the farm. My procrastinating ass never got that feed bin finished up. It needed a gate put on the bottom, and I still have barley in this 3-ton, but I need to put the drill fill in the 3-ton. So I'm going to shove it in the back of this trailer. It's only like 350 bushels, so we can get the drill fill in it. We can get things a little more ready for seeding. Just hope we have enough roof clearance to get this tipped up far enough. Kind of a funky setup. Oh, 2 inches to spare. So I have loaded the drill fill into there by myself. It sucks But I think I'm going to have, where's that thing? Yeah, against the wall. Pile of garbage. I'm going to have the forklift here later today or tomorrow, so I think I'll just wait for that. There's kind of a smell in that cab. I haven't placed what it is, but we're going to leave it outside with the windows cracked open a bit. It's windy today. Keep saying I'm going to put the sleds away every day, so finally, the hell with it. They're away. I'm getting sick of spinning out on these ramps with this forklift and everyone on here thinking you're just driving it wrong. It just won't do it sometimes. So I started finding little knolls, and that's the answer. Problem solved. Brought the forklift to the farm. I was going to throw the water tanks on. But I was thinking it'd be nice if I could set them up where I could still load the forklift on the back if I need to move it around without unloading a tank. And the top isn't decked. So we got these. It's not quite enough, but it's enough you can put a water tank on here. I just have to cut 3 feet off of them. And really I could just drop them on here and put a strap over them. There's a reason I haven't boarded up here, but we're not getting into that. I'll get everything fixed up eventually. It just takes time. I bought this little electric chainsaw for the girlfriend for fencing job she's taken. Works pretty decent. Gonna fire up the grinder and take a couple off. Then we'll be good. I needed one more board, but if I just put those 2 cutoffs there, the water tank can sit on it anyways. I got some sweet boards for trailer jacks now. I'm not too worried about that because I do think I have one more of these under that bin that I plan on moving soon, so I can then put a real board in there. I don't like how this is sticking up. I might hook a chain here, lift it with the forklift, and hit it with the sledge. Well, there we go. Water tank's on. I don't have the straps here. I sold them. They're in the V10, but it's on, and there's enough room you can load the forklift behind. I think you'd still be okay with the weight too, but definitely with them empty, it won't be a problem. Out here at the farm, I did the whole sprayer tank thing and deck. I think I'm gonna do some juggling of trucks. I think I'm gonna use this truck for the fertilizer. Do all you guys remember that really shitty red trailer I had bought for scrap price? I was gonna scrap it. I think I'm gonna use it for fertilizer, then scrap it. Cause why not? What am I gonna do? Break it? It's garbage. Like, it needs to go to the scrapyard. But all I do is pull it in the field, and then the tender truck brings the fertilizer to me. So it's just a bin in the field, drive across the field thing. So too bad. You'll get over it if you're all upset. So that leaves the maroon star to go in the sprayer trailer, and then I can bounce it back to the grain trailer because I still have to go eat my wheat. And I don't want to do that the other way because that really shitty red trailer has no jacks. All the landing gear's been ripped off of it. So, but it does have a tarp. That's another reason I want to use it. Has a tarp. If it gets rained on a little bit, it's not the end of the world. I can't wait for all the haters on my newer grain trailer. They all say it's too rough. You're gonna love this. Buddy, you're scared I'm gonna break it in half. I said, that thing ain't gonna break in half. It might blow a sidewall right off of it. But there's 3 hoppers, and I only get like 10, 12 tons at a time. So you just put it between all 3 hoppers, and the fertilizer doesn't even really get up to the sidewalls, so it's fine. It has a real slick jack stand too. If the trailer wasn't such a disaster, it'd look good on this truck. It's so long too. I just drag it through every approach. Too bad. Yeah, but it has a tarp. Little pinhole, and then I think there's this tiny tear at the back. Sometimes I don't even use the back, or if I do, I just use it first. And last year I said I would be so excited if I never had to use it ever again. But now that I put the 5-inch riser on this hitch, it might not be that bad to get under. So why not abuse it before it goes to the scrapyard? This trailer's starting to look pretty nice, isn't it? Poor thing. Actually, fun fact, this thing has 22-inch rims on it. That's how old it is. Not 22 5s, not 20s, 22s. It's old. So yeah, if anyone wants those rims before I scrap this thing, I guess so. I thought I'd throw the drill fill in, but I don't know how it got under the tarp that we haven't used for the grain ring in 2 or 3 years. That's nice. There, one more thing off the list. I really would like to get the one that goes on the door so that I can actually roll the tarp all the way. One day. Had fertilizer delivered this morning over at the farm in that shitty trailer that I'm sure everyone loves. But, you know, if I just throw this air hose on this, I could really go ban that 55 acres right now. What's stopping me? Like, what's stopping me? Huh. You bastard. Yeah. I guess that'll stop me. So, tire shop can't get out till tomorrow morning. But I suppose I can pull that outside dual off and have it ready for him. Probably pull this closer to the shop. Would help too. So I don't have enough half-inch line to reach. So we got 3/8 from the shop into my compressor. But that compressor also running with half-inch. If they're not rusted on too bad, it shouldn't be a big deal. Well, that rim is stuck on there pretty good apparently. Do we have, no, just that one notch. Porta power. I'll get the porta power. That's the answer. Oh, so it's like committed to staying on there. What about the backside? Would that one move? If you're holding this in here and it slips out and those jaws open, that's a pinch point. Like a really good one. Whew. Like you think that'd move a little, but it's corroded. There we go. She moved. The inner ring moved. Hey, everything's rusty. You can't see. There. See? We're moving. Whew. She's still holding on strong there, though. Huh. Yeah, well, a little more noticeable without the dual on it. Well, tomorrow morning, hopefully they have this fixed up. Big day here. First fill of the tank. We got one little drip, little pinhole at the weld, but well, it could have been a lot worse. He said he only lost, well, that inside was supposed to be right full, and he had to put 15 gallons in from what he recovered to get it right full. So must have just been a pinhole in here, but he had to cut the tube to save it because the stem, it must have got ran flat. I don't know who had done that, but it had cocked the stem over in there and he couldn't really get the adapter on there with the shed. So, oh well, it's just money. It's just a bill. The old man still owns this tractor. I should tell him he has a bill in at the tire shop and see how fast he tells me to piss right off. Well, yesterday was supposed to be the day of let's get some fertilizing in the ground. Never happened. Had that flat tire on the tractor. Had that change this morning and then spent most of the day dicking around with the sprayer. Guys who built that tank came out and had to flop one fitting that was wrong. And then we dealt with all that BS. Now we're ready-ish. There's kind of a calcium mess going on in those duals, so I should wash it. This tractor hasn't had a bath this year. I just pulled it out and worked the land because the land was on the same quarter as the shop. But it needs a little bath. But yeah, in here is all calcium. Yeah, it's gross. Needs a bath. And then I noticed pulling up to here, I engaged the cart. And I could see chains turning, but I wasn't reading a speed on the shaft. But I think when I first got this cart, it was doing that. And in, a couple acres in the field, it started reading. So if we can hear fertilizer going down the tubes, we're just going to go see if it catches up. Well, middle hopper's right empty. Cart's pretty full. Yeah, it's full. Try her out. Oh, we're going. And that speed sensor started working after 100 feet or so. I guess that's this thing. Pulling fairly hard. I dissed this 3 times, but I got these shanks set in for banding, so they're down at like 4 inches, somewhere down there. It's deep. grass, so they'll shine up. The first 100 feet, you can see that the dirt's really piling up. Gotta shine up eventually. Woo, it gets hot in here quick. Oh, you can't hear me now. Alright, here's a good example of why I don't zero till. Mainly because of this toolbar, the full shovels. Right, you can see where I sprayed and where I worked. Because when I worked this, nothing was growing yet, so I wasn't sure exactly where the line was. I think I did pretty good at guessing. But we'll stick those shanks into that dead sprayed out stuff and see how messy it gets. I don't think it's gonna be terrible because the shanks are already in the ground and going over to it. But trying to drop those shovels in on it, it makes a terrible mess. Bad. You try and get those shanks to drop in on that though. I guess if you worked each headland and was actually turning around and dropping in on work ground and then going in, you could probably get away with it with this thing. Oh, and being 4 inches down probably helps that. I think if you were trying to just be at an inch and a half, I think it'd be a lot messier too. So I said I wanted to be seeding by May 5th. I got some fertilizing to do, but I did one tank out in this field last night and filled the drill back up. Should be enough to finish this and maybe do right in front of the house. I want to do in front of the house because I'm putting that back to grass, so I want to get that soil temp up a little bit. But if I do it now, 4 days, 3 days, whatever, May 5th I could go and seed that to grass, and then I'm seeding by the 5th. So that's the plan. And then for the land that's farther away, I gotta do some spraying. This stuff was all sprayed in the fall, so I wasn't really worried about it. And there's no quack grass here. I almost got that quack grass like gone too. It definitely falls as under control now. It just took spring and fall roundups at like 1 1/4 liters an acre for 3 years, 2 years. We're getting there. Well, that's good because I have no oil with me since I walked out into this field. Let's see, field's 55 acres. By my math, I've done 36-ish. You can see that little square in the middle. Open center hydraulics, so I can't pick the drill up. So round and round I go. And my wheel isn't loosening up, so that's good. I got that piece finished. I'm gonna move over to my house and do the little bit right in front of it. 12 acres or something, I don't know, not much. My math says I have 4 extra acres, but my math isn't always the best. But hopefully that's right. And then I'll probably just spread the last 4 acres-ish out on the pasture. Because it might be a little bit before I get over to the other land. And I don't want that sitting in the tank. You know, really waste it maybe. Got this giant chunk of land right in front of the house done, and I'm hoping there's not much left in here. Yeah, I gotta spray that other stuff first before we're banding any. So I thought if there's a little, we'll put it on this pasture, but I didn't pre-buy any fertilizer, so I'm really hoping there's a bit more than in there than I thought. Yeah, the problem is I didn't pre-buy fertilizer, so I'm paying more than I think I should be paying for sure. I'm probably gonna rent some of this pasture out, so I'd probably get my return on it. Really, you think there's a ton there? There's probably under a ton. So, under $1,000 in fertilizer. This pasture has been broke since like 91. Never been fertilized. It doesn't get any loving. Maybe we'll just do it. You can cry about it all day. Because if it was to rain and it's pretty humid around here and that all set up in that tank, then I'd really pout, I guess. Wiping out some anthills while we're at it. Now there's more in there than I thought. So to the trees. and to the gate, essentially. Yeah, it wasn't probably 15 acres. But it'll be good to look at this whole square and see how much it really helps on an old pasture like that. Out here this morning, on the sprayer warm up, everything out here. I'm only going to spray 30 acres here, and then it's still early, so I'm not in a rush. So I got friend company over for the weekend, so do the 30 and the rest can wait till after the weekend. But I want to do a little update on this field and about how funny it is with all the know-it-alls and people that just like to chime in and be negative. I delete the odd guy that's, if you're negative and you won't even go to reason, like I give a point and you just ignore it, then you'll get blocked, like whatever. But some people are mistaken. Some people don't get all the info. I only show you what I show you. There's things you don't know about the place. But 3 years ago, this crop pretty well got wiped out by quackgrass. Quackgrass is an evil little thing. But had a bunch of people on here saying, you know what, terrible farm if you have quackgrass. Well, it's all around this area, so I guess the whole area is bad. And you'll never get rid of it. It's impossible. Yesterday I drove through this field. This is only 50 acres because there's a creek, splits a quarter. And I went just a couple passes through it, and I found 8-10 little plants of quackgrass through the whole thing. What do we got here? Quackgrass or oats? Oats. Quackgrass have a red root. And when I say I got the quackgrass pretty under control, not gone, but under control, no, you're a liar. So all I did was glyphosate, Roundup, spring and fall at I started at just a liter. It hurt, but this field last year in the spring, I went in at 1.35 liters an acre and just put the herd on it. So, but it's paying off. It costs money, but this is a clean field now. So there's 30 acres over here. I'm gonna go spray. I'd still call it under control. There's just a couple odd strips of it kicking around. There's a bunch of land in there. It's about the same. Under control, but could be better. And the rest of this quarter is pretty good. But I'm gonna even wait until next week to spray this one because maybe sun wants to pop up still. I doubt it. It's a pretty quick, hardy plant. Should be up already if it's gonna go. Here we go. I found one. That's quackgrass. That root will go and bugger off, and you'll rip it in half, and it'll just grow in different spots. But from infested to really looking to find anything in 2 years of spraying, call that a win. So I told myself this year I'm going to start making time to do that little bit of extra on a field if it needs it. Just make the time. So 2 fields right in front of the house. We're going to put pasture back. It's only 12 acres or so. It's a little lumpy to be putting grass seed in. And then that other little piece that I worked from pasture, it's seedable, but it's a little lumpy. You know what? Let's run over both of them with the Harrow Packers. But I have to unhook them from the big disc, and there's no other tractors here, so the white gets me with the big disc, then we'll hook it onto the Harrow Packers and just get those fields a little nicer. Oh yeah, see, old white can pull it, just barely tickling the ground. Can't steer very well. There's a little bit of slippage. You know, it's really unfair when you run a white tractor. All the deer guys get to say green power, case guys say red power. It's frowned upon, apparently. Oh well. No, that's hooked up. I want to get the barley in the 3-ton that I put in that trailer the other week. And I have power in there, so we can put an electric auger. But it's kind of tight in there. So I got a little 6-inch electric I really like from back when I used it on the seed cleaner. Yeah. Apparently that tire was flat. I really like this thing too. I was at that auction sale the other week and they had a scoop a second. And I thought, I really like those, but I don't need another one. I already have two. Down to one. I like these little 6-inch augers. Just to have one or two around for weird little shit like this. I would have to unhook a truck, hook up to this trailer, move it out. Just wheel this little thing in by hand. Away we go. That is if you keep it on its wheels, I guess. Well, I was gonna go spraying this morning, but it's a little breezy, so if I get some work done on these hoe drills, we can put the barley in on the home main farm quarter. That'd be okay. That'd be a win. So besides that cylinder that I still ain't fixing, it just drips. It's not bad, but had one shank that blew all that keeper apart and everything, so that's all new. And a couple of those remote grease lines have been ripped off, so I'm going to see if I can get an airline fitting on them. I know they're special, they're a little different, but I'm going to try. Just so I can grease those. And then it's kind of, I need another pail of oil for the tractor. But very much possible we could put some barley in the ground today. Oh, my drill fill hoses. The 310, the pump's weak on it. So I just use the tractor. I have long enough hoses. But they always fall off, get dragged through the dirt. So I bought some quick connects, and I was going to drill holes and mount them all solid, but whatever. It's fine. It's going to do the same job. Well, that's what I came up with. So far it worked on one, and it wouldn't stick in the other one. And one left, so kind of progress. So I usually seed at like 2 bushels an acre for barley. Buddy always does 3. I'm like, that's insane, but I thought, well, it's only 55 acres. For some reason, I cleaned 350 bushels of barley seed, and I'm only putting in like 90. And 15 of that is cover crops, so I'll only be like a bushel and a half. So I'm going to seed heavy, just to see. The chart, not that they're ever right, it only goes to 117 pounds an acre. So I just opened the drill wide open, and that's what we're going to see. It'll probably be like 2 3/4 bushels an acre, maybe. I had it on notch 30 because I was doing cover crop with it last, and I think we were putting down a bushel and 3/4, bushel and a half, and it only goes up to, I think there's 44 notches, so it's not going to be crazy heavy. But gotta get that first shot on the ground in case there's a mouse nest in the drill fill. Well, we're seeding on the day I said I'd start. Good start. I'll just keep a nice easy pace of no rush. Make sure I have no plugged up runs. The nice thing is if it is plugged up, it overflows out the back and it still seeds, it's just not as precise. It's kind of neat too. I didn't swing the disc right into where I sprayed, but it technically is zero tilling into it. I know people went and put eagle beaks onto these 7200s and they'd zero till in Saskatchewan and stuff, more sandy stuff. Didn't think it would go in that nice in this kind of area. Got all scared that this drill was going way faster than the other one, but the float fell off the end of the rod. That's better. There, gained a half a tank just like that. Just finished spraying a little bit this morning. As soon as I finished, the wind picked up, so that's good. It's been a fight getting enough calm to go spray. Going to move the case and the drills to the house to do that whole 12 acres of barley cover crop on grass. We'll see it all as one. Last night finished this piece. So I have a fair bit of barley in the back, hopefully enough to do the 12, but yet hopefully not too much that this thing will still go into transport, because they don't like that. Yeah, that's a fair bit. We'll see. I'm at the farm, so I could bring the forklift over and help it up if need be. Good success if you let the hitch bottom out on the ground first and then lift it. There we go. Now back under it. Remember the other day I said I was going to start making the time to do things a little more proper, and when a field needs extra attention, just do it. This field, I'm going to harrow pack it one more time. We're a little low on engine oil and I don't have any around, so I should probably have some around. So go to town, get that. I'm going to wash it. It's covered in bird shit, but it was in the shop at the other farm and that field was right there, so it'll live. Yeah, so give it a once over, break up some more of those lumps, mainly because grass is going in. And here's your chance to get as smooth as you can. This was pasture since the 80s, and it's been in crop for 2 years, so it's still a little lumpy. Chunks of sod still around because it was so root bound. I went to town, got oil, harrow packed that piece, washed the case, and it got windy, like bad. So I don't think those hoe drills, they just broadcast the grass seed in front of the whole thing. Probably not the best idea to do that today. But the next piece that we're going to after that isn't banded with fertilizer yet, so I'll go do that, I guess. There. Well, I don't know if I have enough in the truck to fill the drill. Hopefully enough to get that 30 acres done. I think it's 32, 33. And their tender trucks broke down, so I have to wait till tomorrow for more. Which, if I can get that 30 done, that's fine. Gotta get creative when you're on your own. I don't think it'll be enough, but we'll see. Well, didn't make it. Probably 8 acres left out there, but we'll set the truck up on the drill, and when the tender truck comes tomorrow, we can just start filling. I'm seeding that grass today. It's the third bag. They get heavier each time. So it's still breezy, but it's not a windstorm. So I picked this stuff because in the brochure, which is probably 90% bullshit, and let's just list different things and they'll buy it. This one says it takes a lot of abuse with high traffic. Because this little piece is where the water is. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, we got a well and water and all that over there. So no matter what, you can't really cut them off it. So it's always going to be abused. So I can't care less if it produces amazing and more that it doesn't get killed out. This stuff's way too expensive. Like just shy of $1,000. It was like 9 something for 3 bags. That's enough to do this 12 acres. Another reason I have lots of like 40-acre pieces and stuff, the plan is eventually put them into grass again. And I'd go broke trying to do a full quarter of grass, especially if it doesn't catch. Ugh. Do little chunks, and if it doesn't catch, that hurt, but it didn't kill you. There goes $10 right there. So we're gonna have to try and guess on which indicator to go on for rate. But we'll catch off of one, we'll go an acre. GPS will tell me where an acre is, so I don't have to measure out this time. And then we'll weigh it, times it by 48 of them, and that's how many pounds an acre. So hopefully I can get it close quick, so I don't waste a bunch. Okay, we're looking for like 10 pounds in the first attempt, 1.2. So apparently we can open it up some. Actually, I did that wrong. I only went 1/10 of an acre, so I times that by 10 to be correct. So 12 pounds an acre. Yeah, 12 would be perfect if it actually works out that way, so I backed them all up a tick and a half. And now we're gonna go see if I run out of seed. Every time I do grass, I think I'm having a wreck the whole time. You can't really see it coming out of there where the shit. It's coming out so slow, like you're second guessing yourself the whole time. I would hate to do a whole quarter. Well, I'm gonna just make it for seed. A couple more passes, get down. But my seed rate for the grass is a little buggered up. So I don't know if I screwed up my math or I think these boxes just have trouble when you got such big seeds mixed with such little. I think the little ones filter out the bottom first. and you get a reading of those which shows heavier than what it actually is seeding. But not into the world. Once I'm done the barley, I'll shut it off. On these, I don't think you can get it shut right off, but if it barely trickles out, that's fine. And then I'll just go the opposite way and open the grass boxes up and pack it down that way. Oh well. Damn grass. Grass likes harder ground anyway, so packing it the other way with the drills will work good. Alright, besides the video proof, I don't think anyone will be able to tell that I messed this whole thing up. I was able to run over the whole thing with the seed I had, and there's just a little bit left in the drill. Really smashed down those lumps though, going over it twice. Probably didn't do the barley underneath there any favors, but I care more about the grass than the barley. So. What a nice morning after 3 days of just wind. I've been lucky enough to be sneaking in a little bit of spraying here and there in the morning or evening between the wind, but last 60 acres, so the last tank.
Hi, I'm Colin Bruce.
So the stainless steel tank review. It's been pretty good. Hiccups. I rinsed it twice when we first got it, and my agitator valve was working when I first put it on. It's not working now. I'm guessing filings plugged it up, because I also had to go through and clean all my nozzles. I had some that were getting plugged up. Just some grinder dust and whatnot, I think, in the tank. I think rinsing it twice would get it all out, but no. So places that this one really shines over the plastic tank, it doesn't have geysers of water coming out of it randomly. It's big. And the end of the tank is much better. The last one, your last 5-8 acres, you start losing pressure and you'd be bumping it up because the auto rate doesn't work on this old girl. So it's just pressure speed. So you'd keep bumping your speed up or your pressure up or slowing down, and it was all over the place. This one, the sumps work way better. It's the exact same pressure all the way through, and that last 100 feet it gets all wonky. Okay, you're out. And we did square to cut cost, but it's not really square. As you can see, well, it's hard to see. They're angled down. Yeah, that weld angled down to a flat, and the sumps are tied into the flat, and on the other side of the flat up front. And they're deep enough it really holds all that water in. And since we made it taller and narrower, your mirrors actually work going down the road. You can see past the sides and the people are behind you. Downsides, being able to see your water level isn't as great. I want to see it painting a line on the back side of that would help. The growing pains of the valve not working, probably because garbage is in it. But all in all, worth the investment. Even though she's just an old girl, my thoughts are, even if it craters, that tank's still gonna hold value, as long as someone else is still running a Willmer. One thing I did ask them to do for me is to get me, he has it all on computer program, center of this plug, how many gallons it is down, and how many gallons is up, and then I can mark, 100 gallon, 200 gallon. That'd be helpful. But otherwise, pretty happy with it. If I ever get really bored, I can go to polishing on it. Don't think I'm good enough. Out here filling the drill, the last of the barley. There's a small weird field chopped up by the creek. It's like 33 acres maybe. I might be cutting it a little closer how much seed I have. That drill's full already, but we'll see. We'll see what's left in the truck when this is full, and we'll judge what our seed rate will be. Originally I laughed at cleaning a whole 3-ton load of barley because I only had this 33 acres I was going to do barley. And I kept changing plans, and we're over 100 and some acres. 110 maybe of barley now. So that 350 got ate up a little quicker than I thought. think it'd be lots, but on the big piece I tried doing 3 bushels an acre instead of my normal 2. So we'll see what that does. I should have done that last, but that's how it worked out. That other land is better land than this stuff, so I thought if I'm gonna try it out there. This piece is kind of nothing to write home about. Well, we are right full and we have a little wiggle room. I did tell the brother he's putting 55 acres back to alfalfa, but doing cover crop. So I'll have lots of barley, lots of oats, so you can put whatever you want, buy and put in there. Looks like he's getting oats or oats. Got a 1 pass there and back left. I'm gonna have to do some bucketing. Did not guess that right. Oh, come on. Definitely looks worse than it is because just that little trough there. Well, beet's running out. This is also one of the things I think people hate the most about box drills, but it's also one of those things that you'll probably cry about doing it longer than it'll take you to actually do it. It's not that big of a deal. All right, 5 o'clock on the dot. Let's see how long it takes. 5:05. I don't have the shop vac with me. First time I had to clean the drill this year, so. But it's not a big deal. Well, damage report. I got 1 rubber band of a fan belt holding in just barely. Picked up the wrong size. I think I'm losing a hydraulic pump or a relief valve. I think the hydraulic pump, which has like 100 hours on it. Because every time I turn, I lose fan speed. And if I turn real aggressive, the priority valve goes off and I can't steer. So, yeah, that's not ideal. But if I can fight through this 40 acres left, I'll have all the wheat banded so I can seed it while I wait for parts for this thing and figure this thing out. So we'll just hold on there a little longer. No, we're losing steering. No, turn straight. Yeah, we're done. Get the damn drill out of there, but they don't even want to come out. Come on. Yeah, at idle we can't even steer. But look what I have on the tractor. I'll have to clean it first though. Another thing it could be is I've had problems with the coupler that connects the engine to the hydraulic pump before too. So that's a possibility. Yeah, we're getting like 300 PSI. We're done. Well, I guess that's a clear indication of a pump failure. The pump has 98 hours on it and it's failed because I changed oil when it failed last. Bright side, I limped around to some grass because it's supposed to rain in 2 days, so at least I can not work on it in the mud. While that tractor cools down, I thought I'd get the barley out of this truck and into this whole cart just for storage. And these drills, if you lift them, you can get more grain out of them, just clean out better. And I'm sitting here thinking, that's a weird little string, and I'm like flicking it, playing with it, shaking this auger. Oh. Sorry, Mr. Mouse. Ew. Hey, just out here, clean the barley out. We're switching over to wheat. And I just barely have enough wheat seeds, so we're going to actually meter this out properly. So, start. my container weighs 85 grams. So if you're doing this, because last time I did this, a lot of people were surprised how to do this, which is simple, I think. But if you don't know, you don't know, I guess. So figure out, you do an acre divided by the width of your machine. Will tell you how long you need to drive for. Forget what mine works out to, but I went on all my fences and tied rags to the fence. So that's 1/10 of an acre. So then I will catch seed off of one leg off of this, and we'll weigh that. What that number is, we will then times by 48, because I have 48 shanks. Then we'll times by 10, because we'll make that 1/10 of an acre into an acre. And that'll tell us what we're seeding at. This is much easier when you just do it with one pail thrown in the corner instead of a full drill, so you're not wasting a bunch. So there we go. Another thing is engage the drill before you get up to your spot once, so all the rollers are actually full of seed, so you get a proper reading. I'm going to take a wild guess that 27. 30 was a bushel and 3/4 for barley, so 27 is a good starting point. So we are 180, 181? It's a little breeze. 181, we'll call it. Okay, so after we got rid of the container, we had 96 grams. Times that by 48 shanks. Times that by 10, which is just out of 0. For a full acre, when you figure out that's how many grams, you move that to pounds, you get 101.5 divided by 60 pounds a bushel. We're at 1.69. So now we're going to open it up a little bit and do it again and again and get close to 2. You can use ounces, you can use whatever measurement you want. Point is, get it to pounds and figure out how many pounds an acre. We're going to try 29 now. Okay, takes a couple tries. We were at 1.69, 1.85, 1.93, and now we're at 2.02. So setting 34 is the win for this wheat, for this drill. Everyone's stuff will be different, so do it for each year. Your wheat size will change, bushel weight, and all you guys with the older air seeders that are cranking the handle, this is the exact same thing what you're doing. And the hydraulic ones that will spin it out, it's doing the same setup, just fancier. Well, we're done the barley, we're half done the wheat. Looks like it's gonna rain all tomorrow, maybe tonight. It's time to catch up on some repairs, because you know things are going wrong at this point. Had a little bit of a blowout here. More so on the inside. That. And then the hydraulic pump blew out of the 4-wheel drive, so we got to deal with that too. Tomorrow's Monday, so if we can get a couple of these off, I can run around and do that. Well, that was going to go way smoother in my head. I don't want to take that roller, old Packer bar out. There we go. The key is that this rib part isn't damaged. This is just a circle with a square hole in the middle. That's pretty easy to replace on both sides. I know Case wants like $250 for that stupid rubber. The whole thing, who knows what they would want. Lost touch with reality. I guess if they make them expensive enough, you'll try and justify that new air drill, which, good luck. I'll build my own parts. Well, pumps out. The coupler never failed, but it's on its way. It's a stupid step coupler. This is the engine side. I should get a pump that's just this size and buy a good, expensive coupler. But we'll see. Open this thing up and see what's in there. So you see how there's a notch in here? I don't know this exactly. I don't know how this pump's really working, but the other notch is lined up with this feed hole relief. I guess it'd be lube to the bushing maybe. This one's turned, and that's where all the aluminum is. Well, I guess not all the aluminum. Ugh. Now we're finding the good stuff. Jeez. But same thing. Good bushings lined up with an oil feed. Bad bushing. So assuming the place that sold me this doesn't want to help me out with the whole 98 hours this pump has on it, I did this time last year. The old pump that failed, the pump didn't actually fail, just the seal. And I needed to be seeding, and they had one in stock, and they never had the seal in stock. I went, fine. So I could reseal this one now. Possibly. And go that direction. Or it would be nice to put a new coupler in this and just get a pump that has the right size coupler. So assuming they did this because the 903 that this thing had in it, the pump was this size and the 903 must be this size. Going to the 855 was this, and they didn't want to buy a new pump. Guessing. Don't know for sure. But yeah, tomorrow's Monday. We'll get to the bottom of something, I guess. I don't know. Well, back out here at the stagger. Got a hydraulic pump. And to my surprise, when I told them the place that the last one only lasted 98 hours, I never got a too bad. They got a, well, we'll ship it to the manufacturer and they might warranty it. Who knows? So, whatever. Let's clean this up and get this mounted. So, I can't get a gasket for it, but they don't really work great anyways. Because there's 2 mounting holes that are around it that want to leak. So you can't use an O-ring, and yeah, you just fill it with silicone. Hope for the best. And got everything cleaned up. Now I just gotta figure out how to open this stupid thing. I was having a hell of a time because the cap was broke. It would just flex instead of pushing down. Alright, we'll see how good this stuff is. Usually, I have to try 4 times to get it to seal up where it's only like a drip. But you don't have to take the hoses off. You can just slide it back and in. So it's not overly messy each time. But let's get the hoses on. Giving it 0 excuses to fail this time. Well, I'm going to let that set up. I know that stuff says 5 minutes back to service. I pulled that pump off so many times trying to reseal. I'll just go handle this project in the shop. It rained yesterday all day, so only probably got a 1/2 inch, but probably enough to stick to the packers and just make a mess. So we'll just wait till the afternoon. Oh, and I don't have my belts yet. Got the wrong belts. Those will be in this afternoon with a filter for this thing. So I'll run this thing for a little bit, let it collect all the debris. I had a buddy ask, well, what about all the aluminum in the system? That's what a filter's for. What, do you think it caught it all? I said, well, if you don't believe in the filter doing its job, take the filters out of your tractor. See how it works. I don't know if that air filter's catching 100% of the dirt, but I know the tractor won't run long without it. Trust in the filter. I got this packer wheel all cut apart. That's the only hard piece to make. Everything else is pretty simple. So, get in there. Oh, got my pinky. Oh, that hurt. There. Ah! Weld that centerpiece in. We got a packer again, a very heavy one. We've officially made the heaviest packer wheel for a set of hoe drills ever. That bushing got stuck halfway through, but it had a whole bunch of washers on one side, so I'll just have to washer it up on the other side and ditch some washers, and we'll square it up to the shank. But this stuff's welding like shit, so it's not going to look pretty, but it's going to work. Well, this is set up for a couple hours. Let's see how our new hydraulic pump does. Maybe I can finish this 50 acres and move on to the next piece. Well, that's a good start. That is also an improvement. Yeah, without a gasket, I'm screwed. No one can get a gasket. Drove to 8 places yesterday. Hydraulic shafts. Need a SAE Type B 2-bolt gasket. What's that? What do you mean, what's that? You're a hydraulic shop. You don't know what a gasket is for a hydraulic pump? Well, hard to tell. I think through that bolt hole. It's just such a dumb setup. There's You can't use an O-ring because there's 2 mounting bolt holes that get in. Like, that's filled with silicone, but that's a soft spot. It's not steel. So you can't pinch an O-ring into it. Same with this side. Do it again, and we'll leave it overnight, I guess. Buy a pail of oil in town, so if it's still leaking, I'll just be on a universal oil change. Well, I called 30 places and finally found one that have some in stock. Jesus. But I was driving by the hoe drill here, so we might as well throw my super heavy packer on it so it's not bouncing around the truck. Yeah, that one's definitely a little heavier than the one on the other side. Oh well. When it gets smashed into the ground, since it's the lead one in transport mode, it should survive. Okay, I gotta go for these gaskets. I am back with goodies. I bought 5 of them since they're so hard to find. So I got that bolted together finger tight because I found different stuff that I like the instructions better. The other stuff said just bolt it together, it's good in 5 minutes. Yeah, right. This stuff was bolt together, finger tight, let it set up for an hour, bolt together, and in half an hour it's good to go. So that seems more realistic. So while that's setting up, do my belt. This guy really was just hanging on by a thread. These were really hard to find belts because you can see how tight they are to just getting around the fan. And if they're any longer, when you tighten them, the fan hits the shroud. I was getting ready to cut out a section, rebuild it. Well, I got one on, but that thing is tight. Like, I ain't gonna get it rolled over to the next one. My only thought is I could run it for a day, hope it stretches, jump it over a cog, and then put the other one on. Nothing's working for me. Well, let's hope for the best. We'll wait till tomorrow. Hopefully finish this piece. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow night too. Been down for 5 days. But she's running. We got hydraulics. I pulled that pump off 4 times trying to reseal it up perfect, and I have a drip. And I can deal with the drip to get this field and the next field done, and then it'll be done with for the year. I can pull it apart and seal it up with silicone nice and let it sit and actually set up for a week. It won't matter. But I got things to do here. My second set of belts are too short. I wrestled one on and it was so tight I wouldn't be able to get it on, so I have another set coming. Whatever. One brand new one beats one ready to break one. The worst part is the oil drip is just barely better than the very first time I put the pump on. And I should have just went and bought a pail of oil and went banding. But no, try and get things right. Oh well. One round is all I caught. Jesus. My finish date that I was on set to hit is just disappearing so quickly. Oh well. Takes as long as it takes, I guess. Well, if I knew I would have only got 1 round, I would have just left the damn thing, and maybe that silicone wouldn't have leaked as much, being able to set up with more time. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. 2 hours later, and I want this field done. You gotta be kidding me. Give me a break today. Jeez. Straw is definitely getting a little tough. I'm just worried about the fertilizer in the tank. I'd rather it doesn't turn into one big block. I was scared I sucked enough moisture in that fertilizer would turn into a rock, but we're almost out, so the rain's about to start, so get it out of the tank. The field won't be done, but it's a step further, I guess. As a small farm, one-man show kind of thing, that tender truck, it keeps me in business there. You know, if they said they're not offering tender service out to me, gone, I'm with someone else. Just so much easier, especially with old shitty trailers. This thing is not roadworthy, but to come park in the field as a tender bin, perfect. And I've only been getting like 7 tons at a time because I'm scared we're gonna blow the sidewalls off of it. So we just pile it high enough so it just gets to the walls. But rained like over probably 3/4 of an inch in the last day. It's real tacky out there. I'm just banding, so I'm gonna go. But tomorrow's Friday, so if I can get this trailer down and get them to fill it up again, I'll have enough to finish, and then I can do it over the weekend. What are you thinking? And yeah, there's just 15 acres in the middle there left on this field, and the hoe drills are ready to go, already filled. And that'll be the end of the wheat, and we're on to oats. Well, I got all this banded, well, 10, 15 acres. I got it banded, and then I went and emptied the rest of the tank out on the stuff that's going to be oats right next door. So I have a start on that, and we're out here putting some wheat in the ground. It's so much comfier in this tractor, quieter, it's nicer in every way. I hate that cab. But the stagger was running fine, finally. So, oh, my AC quit for a little bit. The pigtail came apart right at the compressor, so I lost the clutch on the compressor. Would explain why it wasn't working. But it's definitely dried up since this morning. It's actually, I was scared to be a little too wet to seed nice. But after sitting all day since I banded the other stuff, I think it's just right. All the lumps are breaking up pretty decent. I did get some info on making this GPS work better, but I was in a rush and I didn't put any of it. Oh, look at that wiggle. Yeah, I didn't put any of the info in, so I do need to play with this more, but I just don't feel like it right now. Well, didn't finish. There's probably 15 acres left. Oat seed tomorrow. But this ground looks a million times better now after that rain than before I came out here. This wheat has no excuses now. Just do good. You know, when you skip those very important little tiny steps, just things to look at, like when you pull an auger up to a bin to get some clean seed. Check for the damn bird's nest. Ugh. Like, what's the point? Might as well just seed bin run. It's bullshit. And if you're doing it, make sure you're wearing sweatpants with a hole in the crotch. It really helps the situation. Oh, that's new. Finding all the good things. Just awesome. Get out. I'm gonna be shitting oats for a week. Everywhere. I'll just be out here grounding. Oh. Why? I shut the fuel off because the bowl leaks. And I pulled the recoil out, so I gotta boost it. Okay, but let's talk about the good things. Wheat is done. The oat land is half banded with fertilizer. The rest of the fertilizer will show up tomorrow, and I can start putting oats in. So we're moving forward with minor, very minor but very annoying delays. Well, That should be enough oats for about half of the acres. Well, maybe slightly over half. Pretty good load of oats. Well, we got everything fertilized. Drill is metered. Let's get some oats in the ground. Sow your wild oats. When you younger kids know what sow your wild oats means? It means go be a whore while you're young and then settle down. At least that's how I always took it. So here's why I need to upgrade my drill fill. If I had the in-gate styled one, I could just tarp up and not worry about these clouds that probably won't do nothing. But I don't want all my seed rained on. I can run it back to the yard, which is like 5 miles away, come back with a pickup, just for those clouds to blow over. And then on my next fill, I have to run to the yard and get the grain truck. I need to get that other style drill fill for sure. Maybe I should just cut a hole in the side and stick the auger through the hole, and then I can still tarp over. That'd work too. Might have made the right call. They said this on and off for 4 hours. Bet I can get this seeded out though before it gets too wet. Well, we're out here on this oats. I seeded that other side in the rain yesterday. Got it done. Over half done this side. Not sure if we'll get it done today. Things were looking promising, but I don't know. We'll see how things go. I've been doing good this year, getting some acres back, seeding back a bunch of these sloughs. But there's always a cost, I guess. Yeah, that's nice. I started here. You know, I did some wiggling. I just know every one of those shanks are gonna be full of mud. I'm gonna have to dig them out. Hey, step one is we're unhooking. Can get out of this slop and up on high ground. I gotta get that pin out somehow. No way, Case. Crawl out. No, drive out. I'm gonna squish that big mound of dirt down the duals. Might help us get over it. Okay. The main thing here is don't rip the drills in half. This is a fair bit of tractor, so we're just gonna ease into it. The dollies aren't helping. Alright, we'll keep just pulling it around on an angle. You don't want to yank on a cable, untwist. There you go. You just pull. It. You're up on high ground. Stupid dollies. Don't break off. Just roll. Roll! Thank you. Yeah, they're all right. Full. That's real nice. Good thing there's only 48 of them. And one thing to check on these is your chain is driven, like to run the whole thing, off your packer. So make sure it didn't get thrown off the sprocket. Yeah, one-man show recovery. No big deal. You guys, don't use chains. Put the chains away. Grandpa goes grab the chains. Say, no, you're going to a home if you bring that out. No chains. Jeez, cables, toe straps. I like cables. But not like those real coarse cables. They have to be very fine wired. And this is a lifting cable. There's a tag on it somewhere. Well, there we are. Done seeding. Started May 5th, the date I wanted to. And the plan was to be done by May long. It is Monday night, 10 o'clock of the Monday of May long, so kind of like a silver medal, but We're done. That's all that matters. I'll do it tomorrow. But let's go through everything that broke down and how much it cost me in parts to get everything seeded. Well, next day. Seems like I finished seeding right in time. So let's go over what breakdowns and what things actually cost. So I get a lot when running older equipment. So they nickel and dime me to death, or I just can't handle the breakdowns. I see a lot of new equipment broke down too. So your choice. Do what you want. Hey, seed cart, absolutely nothing. The drill, absolutely nothing. The stagger, small inconveniences. We lost the fan belt. They're the fan belts, and I had hell finding the right one, so I have one that's too short on it. Longer ones are ordered. We lost the hydraulic pump. That was, the fan belts coming at $40 a piece. That pump was $317. I think they sold it to me at cost because the other one only had 98 hours on it. Oh, and I suppose it's going to cost me alternator belts because the one is all stretched out. So I'm guessing that fan belt went through it and stretched it and half wrecked it. And that's all for that rig. So call it $400, $450, whatever. And the 2590 out in the field, nothing. Ran perfect. The stereo started acting up and I had to go buy an aux cord. This radio is getting real spotty. $30 for an aux cord. Not a must. The hoe drills. That wheel, that Packer wheel blew apart and I had new sides cut for it. And I was at the welding shop. I just dropped them off a big case of beer. So I don't know. We'll see if they actually want anything, but maybe they'll need another case of beer. I guess I did use this white a little bit for harrow packing. Nothing. I had to throw a pail of oil in it, but it was low from the winter. 3-ton, nothing. Western Star, nothing. Trailer, nothing. Other Western Star, nothing. Other trailer, nothing. I guess the Packer bar itself, nothing. Oh, on the hoe drill, for the little loop hitches that come out in front of the dolly wheel, one of those pins tried to walk out. I put it back in, put a new cotter pin in it. And then on the wheels, they're held in with a pin. One fell out, and I put a bolt in it. So yeah, that'd be the trials and tribulations of running old equipment and how it's just too hard and you can't do it. But check out my barley cover crop over grass. Front of the house coming in. Like that. Oh, the sprayer. Nothing. Nope. The water trailer. I had to buy a lid for the one tank before season, but nothing during. Yep. I guess with the sprayer, the agitator valve screwed up, so I should fix that. But it kind of was acting up before.